Welcome to qnawire.
All right, here we have a composite function, and the inside function is a quotient. So we'll be using the chain rule to differentiate, but when we get to the derivative of the inside, we're going to use the quotient rule. And what I would like to do is, when I have a square root, I'd like to write it as a 1/2 power. So we have x over x plus 1 to the 1/2 power. Now let's differentiate. So we're starting with the derivative of the outside. So we're going to bring down the 1/2 and raise the quotient to the negative 1/2 power. Now we're going to find the derivative of the inside. So this is where the quotient rule comes in. So we have the bottom, x plus 1, times the derivative of the top, 1, minus the top, x, times the derivative of the bottom, 1, over the bottom squared, x plus 1 quantity squared. Okay, now let's see what we can do to simplify this. All right, there are several steps we can take here. First of all, let's work on this numerator. Ignore the times 1, that doesn't do anything to us. So what we have is x plus 1 minus x. So that whole thing is just 1. Now thinking about the negative exponent, a negative exponent means a reciprocal. So we can just flip that fraction upside down and make it to the positive 1/2 power. So that means we're going to have as our numerator x plus 1 to the 1/2 power. That comes from this part. And then we have a 1 from this part, and then we have a 1 from this part. So that's it. And then for the denominator, we have the 2 that comes from the 1/2. We have x to the 1/2 power that comes from this part. Remember, we took the reciprocal, so now that's on the bottom. And we also have x plus 1 to the 2nd power, which was already on the bottom. Okay, so the last thing we could do then is to remember that when we have the same base to a power divided by that same base to a power, we can subtract the powers. Or we could think of it like this. You have an extra 3/2 of the x plus 1 quantity on the bottom. So let's cancel the x plus 1 to the 1/2 on the top and the bottom, leaving us with x plus 1 to the 3/2 on the bottom. And then we can also write the x to the 1/2 as a square root. So we have 2 square root x times x plus 1 to the 3/2 on the bottom, and we just have a 1 on the top, and there's our derivative.